The List Game is a conversational improv game. We discuss a hypothetical situation, and our cast has drawn a series of phrases from the chicken hat. Their goal is to slip those phrases into the conversation. Every time they do successfully, they get a point. If someone says, "Hey, that's on your list," and catches them, then they get that point. You can also bluff, making up your own. And if someone calls you, you get a bluff point. Do you tip your waiters, waitresses, bartenders? How about tip your podcasters? We need some help with this. Please go to patreon.com/listgame and give us $1 a month. It adds up to about 25 cents an episode. Contact us at listgame@cox.net, COX. Our Twitter is @TheListGame. Here's a promo from another great podcast.
I'm Michael, the host of the semi-monthly podcast In a City Like Yours. Join me as I chat with interesting people with interesting life stories. You can listen to the podcast on all major podcast platforms, including Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and TuneIn. You can follow us on Twitter at IACLYS Podcast, as well as on Facebook and Instagram at In a City Like Yours Podcast. Please feel free to let me know what you think, and keep coming back for the many interesting stories in a city like yours.
Did you know that a man once jumped into a bulletproof window so much that he busted it out of the frame and fell to his death? I do. Hey, I'm Nicholas Howe, and I made an improvised comedy storytelling podcast about this death and many others. Using a multiverse of me's as the catalyst, I explore the various ways people have died. I also have special guests on and freak them out about how dangerous the world is. Did you know lakes can explode? You do now. Listen to the How Will I Die podcast on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts, and follow us on Twitter at HWIDIEPOD.
On Is It Philosophy, we are not going to explore the philosophers of times long forgotten. We're not going to ponder Plato or Socrates. There's so many podcasts out there for that, if that's what you're seeking. This is something different. A place where all ideas are welcome. An open forum to talk about anything and everything. We take an idea and work to find an answer. It may not be the most insightful. Hell, it may not even be an answer at all. So come and listen with an open mind. Who knows, you may like what we have to say. If not, at least we've given you something to think about. So come and enjoy and ask yourself, is it philosophy?
Gojira. And it's time to shut up. This is your host, Daniel French, and this is episode number 44 of The List Game. Bringing around the crew that y'all know. The man to my left is Mr. Rod Diaz.
Yo.
Joining us for, is it the first time? No, the second or third time. It's my wonderful wife, Rosanna Jimeno.
Hi.
Back in the big fat leather chair, we got Kathy Lieberman.
Hello.
And in the other side of the futon is Mr. Dean Garcia.
What up?
And in the big black hoodie thing, it's Joey Ochoa.
What up?
Today's list game topic is relationships between men and women, and or men and men and women. Why not? How do we all get along? How do we make things work? How do we get the advantage or the disadvantage in these situations? What's it all about? The floor is open.
Planet Caravan by Black Sabbath. So I think that I am emotionally intelligent.
I thought that was going to be
And
unavailable.
That has to be
Or unstable.
a good aspect or
She's
a good
trying to pull a
strong
blank.
characteristic of being in a relationship, and something that I think men lack is the emotional intelligence that not only is important to keep the relationship together, but to be able to pull the wool over the other person's eyes, men.
My
And,
cat would beg
control
to
them.
differ. My cat knows that I have the superior emotional intelligence.
Fake. You don't have that gut feeling that women have.
I don't know.
It's like
about
the
that.
Ben
Tune into it,
Gesserit.
you can.
What's that?
I think that if men try to tune into it, they can. But if they ignore it, then it doesn't come out. And I think it's more socialization than.
Oh, good.
Anything
We're
practice.
talking about toxic masculinity right off the bat. That's awesome. We
Yes.
should totally do that.
Okay.
Because that is a huge problem that a lot of men have, is where they feel like they shouldn't bring out their emotions because they think it makes them less of a man,
Yes, that's true.
which is a big old problem. Because then that like distances them from not only their female friends but also their male friends, and they don't form, emotional connections to anyone really.
Yeah, it makes them isolated.
I
Yeah.
show emotions all the time. They just tend to come out the other end.
I thought that was just a sigh, an appreciative
Already going there,
sigh.
so.
I fart when I'm happy.
I just it's the only way to tell.
It's not,
Very empathic.
it's
It's
not
very
a good
empathic.
meal unless someone's farting.
No, but it's true. I don't think boys are raised to healthily express emotion. And so when boys are feeling very emotive, they typically aren't given tools to express it.
I have to disagree there. There is a time and a place. It's usually about 2:30 in the morning. And that's when they call you out of the blue. And you haven't heard from them forever. Oh my. And that's how we show it. We give you
Are you
the...
talking about a booty call, Daniel?
Exactly, the magical booty call of emotion.
Okay.
It's so weird. I thought you were talking about like when a woman is like in deep, deep depression, no matter what, she's going to call you at 2:00 in the morning to talk about it and why.
Same thing, just the other way around. That's it. It's just the other way around.
You're fulfilling our emotional hole, and we're fulfilling with our hole your emotional staff.
We are fulfilling your emotional gaps, so to speak.
all are fulfilled, yes.
Hey, we can consider it the emotional wet spot.
Oh,
It's kind of gross, Rod.
Laundry day.
Everybody's had to deal with the wet spot,
Love it when it's on the pillow.
Well, you can always flip it over.
it is the eternal argument, the wet spot, where it is.
That's
There it is.
why.
And who has to sleep on
That's
it?
why.
Yes.
That's why multiple pillows.
That's why.
Actually, we call that dinner time. We have that beaver stew.
I just
That's
prefer,
beaver stew.
I just prefer those beaver tails. Remember?
That's right.
But, it's better to get the phone call than to get, the drop by uninvited.
What, when you got your boyfriend over, Rod?
Or, anytime anybody drops by, it could be fine. Right?
2 in the morning.
Depends, but
Here it is.
sometimes you get the drunk, the drunk girl at 2 a.m. on your door.
Hey,
and you're
baby.
oh, Lord. How do I
Come
deal
for
with
the
this?
loving, baby. Come on.
It happens. I'm just
That's
saying,
too
it
much.
happens.
Again.
Yes.
I think
Legal implications, too, there of.
Across the board.
Yeah.
It's problematic.
Well, the uninvited drop by leads to the sunrise coyote arm. And for those of you who don't
Elaborate, yeah.
the coyote arm is when you wake up in the morning and you would rather chew your arm off than wake up the person that's sleeping on it.
That's right.
Oh.
So you can just sneak out of there and
Do coyotes do that?
If they get
Well,
trapped.
they do that to get out of the
Yes,
trap.
that comes from when like a coyote would be stuck in like a bear trap or something like that.
Right. They would rather
they
chew
would
their.
chew their own leg off. And
You learn
so
something
they'd
new
get
every
away.
day.
so. Wait, you called it the coyote long arm?
Just the
arm.
coyote arm. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna call
Because
you
the
on
person,
that one.
you're going to call me on coyote,
Coyote
arm?
arm, yep.
That's a bluff point.
There's also
That seems like a thing.
There's also the walk of shame.
The walk of shame. Now, there's one that we could call
Definitely.
too.
The walk
I'm
of
not gonna
shame.
call you.
The walk of shame is like a famous thing in IV. You can go any morning in IV
around
and see the
dawn.
girls, doing
That's
the
what
walk
we used
of
to
shame.
do. We'd wake up at about 7,
Yeah.
And then by about 8:39, you see like, it's kind of like Dawn of the Dead. They're all just
Procession of
like-
girls
hobbling
at
out.
home.
It's like they're just streaming out of the houses every couple of houses down, and
Yeah.
we're just
Barefoot,
sitting
wearing
there
their
eating
shoes.
breakfast burritos. From,
Those are great in the 80s because the girls were always wearing spandex and you could see the markings on their spandex when they got all wet before they took them off.
You mean the wet spot?
Yes.
Laundry day.
It's only shameful if you make it shameful. I mean, everyone has sex. That's a thing people do.
That's right.
It's not like it's
You gotta
something.
strut and be proud.
Yeah, you had
man.
sex. Who
That's
cares?
right.
Who
I
gives a
got
shit?
it on
There's
last
no.
night.
So that's exactly
Reason
it.
to be embarrassed about it.
My wife
true.
told me about how when she was doing the walk of shame one morning, and some guy drove by, and there's a group of kids, and they're like shame walk, and she was like, "Yeah,
so
I
they
got."
said that? What was it? Yes.
Yeah. And she yelled back, "I got some."
I got more than you did.
That's the way to do
Nice.
it.
Yeah, that's how you do
That
it.
is how you do
Owning it. That's good.
It's just like society has put this stigma on women that sex
Yeah.
is bad.
Oh, yeah.
But it also
You're a
put this
whore.
thing on men that sex is good. So it's
Right.
like
Someone's
either for
gonna
men to
lose.
win, women have to lose. That's
Yeah.
kind of a messed up thing to
Lame.
think
God,
about,
man.
right?
Lame.
See, these
It's
are
all
the
terrible.
young boys that are growing up now, man. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it,
good.
man. Dean, you're a cool dude.
Oh, thanks. I try.
I think young men these days are much better when it
Yeah.
comes to
Yeah.
relationships.
Yeah.
They're much more caring people. They care
Totally.
about the earth,
Totally.
and they really want to make a difference. And that's
It's taken me
awesome.
10 years of marriage to figure out that I never knew how to listen properly.
Wow, you're a dick.
I really was.
But Kathy, at least he learned. That's a thing that a lot of people can't say about it.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
But I was. I love
Yeah,
it.
right.
I did not listen well.
Thank you.
That is hard, right? They say that men listen with a point in mind, like not just to listen and absorb,
Right.
but to go to a solution or
Right.
to go
we
to the next
we
step.
tend to be totally focused on trying to solve the problem
fix it.
and come with some sort of solution. And what women typically, I found now, is all you need is acknowledgement and genuine listening to whatever the problem is and a recognition
Yes.
that whatever the
You know, like a
situation
human
is
being.
sucks, right? And that's really all you need instead of some sort of solution. And it's literally taken me my entire married life to figure that out.
Well, it was. I mean,
And to learn to
Better
just
late
be
than
present to whatever's happening. And that's kind of the key, right? Just be totally present to whatever is. Don't go into analyzing the situation and trying to come up with a solution. Just be there
yes.
and listen to
That is a
whatever
big
is
key.
genuinely
All men must
be said.
remember that almost everything that comes out of a woman's mouth sounds like they want you to solve a problem,
Right.
and they never
They
want
don't.
you to solve a problem. Unless that problem is, how am I going to get a new Lexus?
exactly, bingo, because that is truly what we want.
Is the
And-
Lexus.
Yeah, I think that it's important to, I think like I said, I really like Dean. I like the new generation, but there's a time when I'd like it to be like the old times when, women really could, even though we had the things we had to deal with, but we could control men too with our emotions. We could totally
Although they never do anymore.
manipulate them because they didn't understand emotions, and we could use those emotions and feign, and all of a sudden the man is like,
Well, that's a matter of age. Not to put you down, but it's like that's what you do to men when you're young and they're young. When you get older, everybody knows that bullshit.
oh, you mean I shouldn't use that anymore? I'm so young.
Depends on how often you're cougering around. You know?
Hey, I'm 29.
And you have been since 03.
Yeah, 1903.
Well, at least all the kids nowadays, they have apps to like hook up. And there's all the swipe left, swipe
my
right
God.
apps and whatnots.
I'm surprised they don't like have a Facebook hookup or something, because it would be just a like. I mean, they have likes for your.
That'd be lame.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that calls my age.
That depends if you're the right girl and your name on Facebook is something like Swallow It All.
That's a porn
be
bot,
very-
Daniel. I'm sorry, you've been duped.
Yeah.
Swallow it all. Oh,
I think today is supposedly online dating Sunday. Did you guys see
Oh my
that?
God,
That today
No way,
is-
really?
For some reason, it's when people are most online looking to.
'Cause
go
the
on a date
holidays
with
are
Harmony.
over.
Yeah, the new year. Holidays
Yeah,
are over.
I can see that. It's also like when most people have their days off and stuff like that.
It's Beaver Stew Sunday.
You know, you've been working all week. All you want to do is like have a quick hookup and then
Yeah.
I don't know, eat
Just
pizza rolls or
swipe
something.
right all night. Pray something
And munch on
happens.
the beaver stew.
What do you guys think of Tinder? Have you heard mixed things about it?
Sponsored by Lego Sex Toys. Build your own. How big do you want it? Yeah, you think stepping on them barefoot?
Ouch! Everything is awesome. Buzz, buzz.
It's a little
It
too
depends what
spiky
you're
for
looking
me.
for in Tinder. It's you can't go on Tinder and expect to find a meaningful relationship on it. That's not gonna happen. I know there's some people who think it's gonna happen. Trust me, it's not gonna happen. You're just gonna have a quick hookup. That's all you get from Tinder.
What it seems to be. I know one person that got married
Wow.
from a Tinder date. They immediately got down and dirty and raunchy, but it worked out. They were really good
They
for
went
each
to Las
other.
Vegas
Good
the
for
next
them.
day, and they were married, and then
She
got
married a
divorced.
pet rock.
No,
But then I have other friends, and it's just dick pics.
I don't know if the stats are still the same, but it used to be something like less than 50% of marriages make it 5 years.
that's gone down.
Rosanna, what are you still doing?
I believe it's 46% of marriages.
Okay.
5 years.
We're getting all statistical on this
Yeah.
game.
Well, I mean, I only bring it up because, you know, it's part of what happens, you know, once a relationship gets permanent, right? Usually you go to marriage. And then those don't last, and then you're back in the loop again, right? So
Yeah, but usually people look at divorce as a sad thing, but it's
Sometimes
a
it
happy
isn't.
thing. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously the marriage didn't work out for a reason,
Right.
so it's like that's good that they're splitting up.
Totally.
It's not something that they should be in the rest
Yeah.
of their life and
Yeah,
struggle
there's
through
nothing
that.
worse
I was
than
gonna
seeing
I was
people
gonna quote
together
Louis
that-
C.K. right there, and then I realized that that's probably jumped the shark at this point.
What, something about masturbating in front of people? All right.
No, something along the lines of back when he had gotten freshly divorced, and they were talking about how
The most contributing factor to those statistics of how soon people get divorced depends on the frequency or how soon after you get married are the Dutch ovens.
Wow, I thought something.
correlation between the Dutch ovens.
especially during the winter, during the summer it
Keeps
sucks.
you nice and warm.
Exactly.
Depends on, was it enchiladas or was it Ben and Jerry's?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'm surmising what Dutch oven means.
It's when you fart under the sheets and it convectionally heats
Oh, I did not.
You're
okay,
both in
now
the blankets in bed and
I
you
see. I see.
cut a nice big one and then you lift the blankets over his or her head.
Oh,
Yeah, you shouldn't put Ben and Jerry's
Hold
into
them
an
down.
actual oven.
I thought it was like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say.
Yeah, I got a thing
Yeah,
for
it
bubbling
sounds
ice
like
cream.
it could be some really
Yeah,
raunchy.
because you like
Ice cream
put
soup.
yourself in the Dutch oven.
Pour that right on the apple pie. Mm,
Oh, actually,
I
that
think one of the
worked out.
issues-
Caramelize it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because on the topic of Tinder, I've been on there for a while. I've gotten a few matches, usually just passed over, swiped right. And but the weird thing is there's so many different flavors of individual that it's really just a crapshoot. When you're going on one of these sites, like I've taken a couple of girls out to dinner.
I didn't know you were into that kind of stuff.
Crap shooting.
Something about a Tinder date and crapshoot. I don't know. Okay, go on. I'm sorry.
Okay, put the bullseye
Things got
right there
really
and
messy
shove it
in my head. Yeah.
Anyway,
Joey likes to do
Two
upper
Joeys,
deckers
one
with his
cup.
date.
So
Two Joey's, one cup. What?
I apologize for my outdated verbiage. Anyways, so the thing is I would take these girls out on first dates, and I didn't know it felt like it was hard to win because one time she offered to go Dutch, and I let her.
What, fart under the covers?
Splitting the check.
Not Dutch oven.
Right.
The Dutch own a lot of things, all right?
We're going to get Kathy a dictionary of terms.
Oh my god!
And maybe some really nice hash. She offered to go Dutch, and I let her, and she dumped me because she thought I was cheap.
Wow.
And so
It's her idea.
And so a couple weeks later, she offered to split the check again, and I was like, no, wait, I know better this time. and I wouldn't let her, and so she dumped me because she said that I wouldn't treat her like an equal.
Wow.
And
Oh, that's such a bullshit
so I'm like,
story.
I just don't know, you know.
That's a bullshit story.
It's like someone that
what you
likes to
will.
give people a hard time.
I mean, sorry.
She's calling you a liar, Jerry. Calling you a liar. No way, you're all a bunch of gold diggers.
I totally believe it. I totally believe it. I totally believe that there are girls out there that, because I've heard crazier shit, you know.
Yeah, there's some
Okay.
people you just can't win with
I
them.
guess
Yeah.
I just didn't think people would be that rude. Sorry. I guess I do believe you.
People can be rude.
People can
so-
be very.
And then there was the other girl who said, I'd totally go out with you if you were about 30 pounds lighter. And
That's rude, too.
Yeah. I mean, she's right. You know, back when I was, you know,
Dude, you
about
look awesome.
about 60 pounds
think
ago.
you look
Hey,
good.
dude, you're you.
I mean, if
Who cares
look
what
great.
Well,
other
since
people
it has to
think,
come
right?
up on the list game, what it is they figured out that you weren't going out with girls because you were looking for companionship. You were taking them home, chopping them up, and eating them.
Delicious people.
My last name today is not Ochoa, it's actually Lecter.
What picture do you have on your Tinder profile? Just quick ask. Is it a picture of yourself? Just all of
It is me sitting on the Iron Throne in Dubrovnik.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Oh, that is
but
cool.
like she already knew what you look like, so the fact that she swiped
totally.
right on you and
No,
then was
no,
like,
but this was after we met, and she didn't give me her phone number, and she said after the date. You
no,
know.
exactly.
But she already
went
saw
through.
your picture.
Yeah, she already knew.
She already
She went
Yeah.
through all the trouble just to tell you you're
to be
30
fair,
pounds overweight.
I had been walking my ass around Europe, and I actually dropped 2 inches off my waist in the month that I was walking around
And
Europe.
then you came home and did the Ben and Jerry's thing.
Yeah,
in the
and
bed.
I got it all back. so she was like, "You were being deceptive." I was like, "No, I wasn't. This is basically what I look like on any given
You know,
day."
those pictures, anyways, it's not those pictures.
Kind of like the
I
one,
know, and
kind of like how I
people put
still have the pictures
filters on their
back when I
pictures.
had short hair. You know,
Right.
They're like, "Why do you have long hair now?" I was like, "Because I'm
Yeah.
growing it out to donate it."
Because
you
it
know?
grows.
Yeah.
I don't get up and cut my hair every day. Okay. Anyway, on the same thing of the yay or nay on the date, how many of us, and I know some of us are younger, but have, you meet that person, maybe you've gone out a couple, but the first time you go to their place, right? You walk in the apartment and there's that smell.
Oh no.
Right, you kind of like this person. You're thinking about going out, but then the first time you go to their place, there's that weird smell. Do you still go out with them? Do you say something about it?
What you think?
Let's get
That
outta here.
lunch meat smell that's been sitting out in the sun or
it's
something.
different for different people,
That's what it smells like to me.
But it's definitely something that you don't enjoy.
Well, I mean, we all remember those Febreze commercials. How people can go like nose blind to their own scents.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like one of the girls that I was with one time, she was one of the soccer players on one of the local soccer teams, right? And we went back to her place, and it just literally just smelled like, how rancid
Yes.
athletic urine
jock
smells.
She had the
Clothes.
trash can full of the sweat-soaked tampons.
You mean like moist jock straps when you pour them over your head.
And it got stronger as the closer you got to the laundry room.
Nice.
And so I was just offered one time. I was just trying to be nice, and I was like, "Would you rather come back to my place?" And so she's like, "Well, that's a little forward, don't you think?" It's like, well, yeah.
Your place is stinky.
But exactly,
say it.
and I know I'm a little socially awkward. I was like, "Yeah, but your place just reeks."
Oh man, that's like a slap in the
And
face.
she's
for
like,
a
"Well,
woman.
yours probably does too." And I'm like,
Yeah, but mine smells like me.
And I smell like nothing.
and I was like, "Wait a minute!" As a joke, my friends got me like a dozen vanilla candles. If there's anything that smells in there, it probably just smells of like Mexican vanilla.
Oh yeah.
Vanilla can be too strong to smell sometimes, though.
So,
Well, it depends on how many of the candles you burn.
So I think a lot of it comes down to chemistry, and it has, two people can have the chemistry with each other such that their BO doesn't bother you. At least not like other folks.
Puppy-o.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
I think
Actually,
there's-
I have heard that before.
It's kind of like your natural musk.
It is. It is a. It all comes down to chemistry, and that is a roll of the dice. You know, anytime you meet somebody, you never know whether
Yeah.
your chemistry and their
Moisty
chemistry
musk.
is going to.
Oh, I keep a
jive.
separate hamper for Rosanna's clothes, and then I just crawl in that thing once in a while. And I'm a happy camper.
There's actually
The
like
chemistry works.
there's actually
right?
certain colognes/perfumes that accent your natural smell instead of hiding
Stank.
it,
Right.
because you want to attract someone with that natural attraction, the
Well,
natural chemistry.
Well, that's what you have to look for, you know, like whenever I have gone cologne shopping, it's like, what smells best? Like, you know, you smell the strips in the magazine or whatever, but you gotta be like, what actually smells best when it blends with you? Like, you actually have to go and test them.
Yeah,
That's why you gotta
I like
take a
that.
friend
They
with
give you
you.
testers at Sephora, and you can take them home and
Well, certainly the
Smell
chemistry of your skin's going to change the perfume smell too.
The one
Right.
that always worked the best for me is it smells like money.
So
I had another one
cocaine
that was
and a bit
called
of poop?
Mercedes, and these women just came from everywhere.
Weird, that didn't work for the Ferrari one.
You know, Henry Kissinger
I
says
had the one that had 7-bedroom mansion.
Henry Kissinger is quoted as saying that power is the greatest aphrodisiac,
Oh yeah.
and so
and
That's
Yeah,
why
mine
the
is
Energizer
Well,
bunny's just swimming in it.
Well, I would say not power alone.
to hear
men to women or women to men.
Germans regarding power.
I think wit is big. Maybe if the power were
No wonder Tyrion was swimming in it
was
in the show.
acquired through wit and intelligence. That is what.
If not for that, I'd be
sexy.
homeless.
Yeah, exactly. I think wit and intelligence and just being
Wit.
able to.
Charm.
Oh, yeah, that's it. I don't care about the power and money.
Power intimidates a lot of men, I think.
yeah, it's
I think
definitely
it's
different.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, there will be some gold digging men who will go after powerful women,
Yeah.
but
If I had only known when I was younger.
for the most part, men will be intimidated about a woman earning more money than them.
Especially if she's really direct and is able to say what she wants exactly. And
Hey,
yeah.
calling all you smart, witty men, I will be your sugar mama. I will pay for everything. I will be that. If you come, I'll take you.
You heard it here first, guys.
I'll take care of you. Just entertain me.
You see, Sarah Connor says, come with me if you want to live, but Kathy says, live with me if you want to come.
Yeah, I'll make you come all day.
CBS cares.
Was Walk of Shame on your list?
negative.
Okay. Bluff Point then.
Banana,
Banana.
banana, yeah. Chiquita, please borrow this
All right,
for
so
your
let's
next
talk
theme
about
song.
the things that we do to make each other happy once we're already there. You're in a relationship and you're going out of your way to make this person so wonderfully happy. You know, you're buying the roses and the chocolates or whatever. You're doing the dishes when you're supposed to. Exactly.
Ugh.
How far do you go? I'm very lucky in that respect. It's like I will remember to clean the kitchen once in a while, but Rosanna is like always cooking for me and cleaning the kitchen, and so just once in a while I'll have that week where I just destroy the kitchen. And I leave it that way for a couple of days, and then I wait till she's going to be gone all day, and I'll really clean up the kitchen and do the stove. and
Once
the
in a
oven
long
and all
while.
that. Yeah, but when I do, it's badass.
You do. You get down. You know how to clean. You do know how to clean. But yesterday, the fried egg on the pan.
Oh my god, it had been so long since I cooked a fried egg that Rosanna had
Oh.
to reteach me how to fry
I'm
an
like,
egg
did you
without
put any
making it stick to
oil
the
in the
pan.
pan? He's like, no, it's a no-stick pan.
It's a no-stick pan. It's not
It's
gonna
not
stick.
that
Still
literal.
gotta put oil on the pan.
Yeah.
Still gotta grease it up.
Yeah, you gotta grease it.
Tiny bit, or some butter. Butter works.
Greasing it up, man. That
Yes.
reminds me of one of my favorites to keep her happy. Greasing it up and cooking, you gotta have the MSG lube. It's very tasty.
Oh,
And
You put it right on your pancakes. It's really good.
30 minutes later, you're hungry for more.
This list game is sponsored by Kirkland's signature MSG Lube.
MSG lube.
Pick it up in 5-gallon drums at your local Costco.
Comes in a big old. No, it's not even a squeeze bottle. It's a pump
it's a
squirt
pump.
gun.
No, it's a mini keg.
Yeah, you got CO2
all right.
delivery.
Is MSG lube on your list?
That's a bluff point.
Yeah, Kathy. I was about to ask.
Hey, I gotta give you all kudos. Nobody called me on beaver stew.
It's just at this point, why would you?
Yeah.
Beaver and everything associated with beaver was gone, or is
That's
it just,
why, because I promised several
Why?
issues ago
I was
that
gonna
if
say,
I
if the big
use
brown beaver
beaver,
shows
it's
my
not
call her
on the
friends.
list.
Okay. Oh, so all right.
That's just because Gopher likes to be in here with Swan. He loves him beavers.
Like, if there's some way you could make sure someone else gets a beaver,
I
then
can.
that.
Yes.
Oh, you can?
I can give you a beaver, him a beaver, her a beaver, but if you hear me say it, it's not on the list.
How many beavers is that, Dan?
There's
That's
only
all
5
it
beavers.
is. You never got enough beavers.
God, ever since that Winnie the Pooh episode.
He's got to have beavers.
Oh, there was a beaver in Winnie the Pooh? I thought that was
Yes,
a gopher.
for those of you out there, go to the list.
Oh,
Gopher.
Gopher
Listen
loves
to-
beavers.
Listen
That's
to episode number 9, and it's this
Number
thing where
9?
everybody had to
Number
be a
9?
character from Winnie the Pooh, and it's fantastic. And Gopher was awesome. Gopher loves them beavers.
Well,
I was
so how much emotion should we expose in our relationship?
It depends on the situation. Okay, you've just discovered by waking up that your significant other is going through your phone and checking your messages and stuff while you're
That's
asleep.
not cool. That's
All
not
right.
Okay,
How
okay.
much emotion are you gonna show?
Are there couples that like have each other's passwords? Is that a common thing?
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, there's definitely couples like that. I think my sister is one of those couples.
Yeah.
But I just think that's too much.
It's
That's
too
a huge
much.
invasion of privacy. And
It's
that
joint
shows,
Once again,
Facebook.
it depends on trust and how long you've been together.
yeah.
Rosanna, I make sure she knows all of my passwords because I know I'm going to forget them.
and have your significant other scrolling through your contacts and your messages. That's a huge
That would not
invasion of
feel good.
privacy. And also that shows that they don't trust you at all. So where's that relationship
Well,
going?
if you
Well,
get
well,
the password
do you know
and
what
stuff
the do you know what the true definition of trust is?
Never having to say "I love you."
No, it's two cannibals giving each other a blowjob.
Or when you say, I promise I won't come in your mouth, and she knows what that really means.
Means like prepare to spit, right?
we got the sperm bucket, like the jewel bucket.
Ah, bedazzling. This was a great thing. What was it, about 10 years ago? To show your loved one how much you loved them. You bedazzled various parts of yourself.
Funny.
Oh,
I want to put beads on my balls.
That's right.
I actually
nice
put
and
them along
shiny
the
for them.
shaft because it, you know.
I like to use little bells
Yeah.
so it jingles.
Funny.
Right off the tip.
Merry Christmas.
Brings a whole new phrase to, have you gotten your bell rung lately?
What if you don't want to talk to them too much and you just kind of, you're texting them, but they get mad at you because you're just texting them. Why don't you answer your phone?
Oh, and it's like those lines of 100 texts on like, oh, why aren't you answering your phone?
Yeah,
I'm super
well,
worried. And then
and
you're
because
just
you
like
don't-
at work or something.
Yeah, that's another issue with regards to control and someone who wants to control you a little bit more. It's like, all right, this guy, he's too much for me. How do I get rid of him? But he's like, so I don't know. He
Yeah,
wants to
like-
control every moment, know your passwords, text you all the time, make sure you respond immediately.
Yuck.
and-
And I think that's
No,
also
yeah,
a
that's
thing,
pretty crazy.
with breaking
Yeah.
up for with people who aren't, good for you in the long run, is when you're scared of hurting people's feelings and you just end up staying with someone because you don't want to
I do that.
hurt their feelings, like, and break up with them. What do you do then? Do you try to be like? Do you try to that classic sitcom thing where you try to be as bad as a boyfriend / girlfriend as possible and just have them break up with you?
That goes back into
Three's Company.
manipulation, right? So,
Yeah.
So when the manipulative powers are being used, it reminds me of going into mythology, etc. Right? Was Pandora's box? Okay, was Pandora just curious, or was she manipulated? If you'll remember,
She was manipulated by the gods into being curious.
Which god?
I want to say Zeus. Well, the
I
thing
don't
is,
believe it was Zeus.
well, the thing
Like
is,
Archimedes or something like that.
well, Archimedes wasn't a god, but what happened was when they made Pandora, the gods each gave her like
I
one
think
of
that
her
you're
traits.
right, and one of them gave her the curiosity.
Yes,
that's it.
And
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Zeus,
Yeah.
but don't quote me on that.
So,
Sorry, mythology majors. It's been a few
Yeah,
years.
Zeus gave her the curiosity, and then he put on his
Right.
his belt codpiece thing that said, "Don't you want to know what's in here?"
And then they gave her to Epimetheus and said, have fun, dude. And he was like, well, you guys just strapped my brother to a mountain and let an eagle eat out his liver every day. But I'll take this gift. I appreciate
Oh, it was
it.
Hera?
Hera gave her curiosity.
It was one of those
Thank
two.
you
I
for
couldn't,
looking that up,
Zeus gave her mischievousness.
And so-
Mischievousness.
So what you do is you tell her, I'm sorry, we have to break up. I have an STD.
Okay. That solves the problem. Like
It's
that.
called the dripping memento.
I'm just trying to help.
Okay,
that
is
sounds
STD
gross.
on your list?
What's that?
STD on your list?
No.
Oh, something near it was. Damn it!
You didn't get there yet.
Congratulations,
It's
Rod.
gonna be STD due to
What
go
makes
away.
it
I
the
wanted it to go.
hardest
She
to
does
tell
interrupt it.
something to your significant other? What makes it the hardest to talk to your significant other?
If it's gonna
What
make her
things are
sad
the
or-
hardest
Good
to
question.
talk about?
That's a really good question.
Well, the problem is all the red tape nowadays in regards to sexual conduct, because if you're going to have like one of those legendary surprise threesomes,
Surprise
Those
threesome.
legendary
Yeah,
surprise
legendary.
threesome.
Yeah, you always bring the two women. They don't know they're gonna be in a
You got-
three-way.
and you gotta
just
bring out-
like
You got to bring out the contract and they got to sign it.
right? And they have to be in different rooms, but if they see each other and they're not into each other, then the whole thing's off.
yeah, just two girls who've not even wouldn't even have a conception. You're like the nicest man. I love you. Oh yeah, baby.
Unfortunately,
Come on
these
in,
days-
meet my girlfriend.
These days, the surprise threesome usually involves 3 girls.
What?
Ah.
Yeah. Is this like the next level of
The surprise threesome are the 3 girls that went out bar hopping
Now
together all
gone
night,
from
and they got all
2 to 3
drunk,
now.
and they teased guys, and nobody went out with a guy by the end of the night, and then they get home and they all realize that they actually were horny, and they jump each other.
Tijuana Pictures presents
why?
Scissorception.
The other thing that makes it
got
very
it.
hard, pardon me for using the word very hard,
Very
but
hard.
that makes it
Oh my!
makes it rough for people to talk to each other is because someone hold a mouthful.
Because there's a mouthful of what?
A mouthful. Pretty hard to
So somebody's
say
stuffing
the
their
things
mouth
that you
with
mean to say.
something?
Well, a mouthful.
Right.
That's something you might be hard to bring up with your significant other is you're given kinks. Like if you have a certain kink that you might want to do in the
Yeah,
bedroom, but you're all like, ooh, maybe she
Yeah.
will think I'm weird
Like,
if I won't say that.
Yeah.
Like not
what-
taking off your Spanx or something to have sex.
Spanx with
Yeah,
or,
like if you're
You like
That's
to
a
You know
very
what?
mild.
cut a hole in the middle of it?
It's not much of a kink, but we'll go with
Or
it.
favorite positions.
Or what if
Sure.
you're a fetish on the feet?
There you go.
Well, in your case, you could
Those
just
are
call
weird.
Quentin Tarantino
Why?
I think if a
because
girl
he's like
had a
got the biggest foot
fetish.
fetish in the movie
Oh,
industry.
does he really?
Yeah.
I think if a girl has a foot fetish, just
I
about
think I
every
have
guy
a
would be
new
cool with that.
boyfriend.
And he's rich.
and he's probably a murderer too.
Maybe.
Yeah, because I got a big foot. I think he would like my foot.
There you go.
Well, he liked Uma Thurman's multiple times in multiple
That's
movies.
right. She
Oh,
has
that's why I
fairly
think he's
big
a
feet,
murderer
too.
because of what he put her through,
What?
allegedly.
Oh, really?
Oh, with that car crash and
With
everything?
the car crash.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
What happened?
she did consent to try and drive a Carmen Ghia.
Wasn't it in a car crash too in the movie?
Well,
She had to-
actually, she didn't consent. Yeah, he stuffed her in a death trap and said, "Hey, film this scene,"
Yeah.
and she almost.
All I got to give him is a foot, man. I don't even have to give him the but the
I was
badge.
gonna say, a guy would love a girl with a foot fetish because you still get to have sex and stuff. But then
I can get
when
all
you're kind of
sweaty,
tired or when you're
suck
done,
it,
man,
all you
you
want,
grab the
man.
PlayStation controller and you play video games with one of your feet sticking out, and you're all good.
Well,
Yo, foot fetishes have always been so weird. Well, mostly the people with foot fetishes, because they would pay so much money for a picture of someone's foot, or like
How does
the
that
shoe they
start?
wore, or something
Yeah.
like that.
I have such a long.
It's
thin
so
foot.
weird.
You do.
They're 13 and
Well,
a
you
half
know,
women's.
I ended up with
11 and a half
Rosanna
men.
because of her foot fetish. She came up to me and she said, "You know, I have a foot fetish for you." And I said, "Me? Why?" And she said, "Foot long."
That was a good one. I'll give him that
Okay.
one. So, where did the term reverse cowgirl come from? Like, Did they accidentally hop onto the knob of the saddle one day? Or
Yeah, so it was from an actual rodeo, and the girls were trying for the first time, and one of them she was holding the rope, and she got bucked around, so she was facing the other way, and all the cowboys realized, wow, this is a good idea.
This is another way to ride.
It's like, especially when you got a butterface that you're taking home.
I'm not getting any of it.
Yeah, because they didn't
know what a butterface is?
Because they didn't have paper bags back then.
But her face.
She's got a great body, but her face, right?
Oh!
So you want her to get on top of you, but you want her to face the other way.
Got it. Right. Eat all the French fries.
What?
Eat all the French fries.
I'm going to go for it. Is that on your list?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm still giving you the point, Dean. And
Come
as
on,
usual,
man. That was a gimme from me.
as usual, in a lot of places,
gave it.
Kathy didn't even read it right. It's eat all of their French fries.
Is that the French fries?
And something that happens in dates.
When they eat
They'll
all their
eat all-
French fries?
Yes.
Because they
I
don't
don't know if it happens to women so much, but yeah, Rosanna and I go out, I order something with French fries, and she eats all my
She'll
French
eat
fries.
all their
And I'll even
fries.
ask, do you want me to get you French fries? No,
No, because
You don't want to eat a whole order.
Okay,
And then
got
as soon
it.
as you get them, gum, 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 gum.
all your
You're
French fries.
busting out of my Spanx.
And she,
That's right.
The fetish thing, man, that women have.
That's right.
They want the men to order all the food, and we get to pick the food off your plates.
That's it.
Or
They
better
eat
yet,
our
you
French fries. They
feed
steal our hoodies.
now I know
They
what
take the
Rosanna
remote.
wanted.
yeah.
I
My
demand
goddamn
control of the remote control. Yeah,
You
this
can,
is the
honey,
fifth.
as long as we watch something that's romance-based.
Fine, we can watch the rom-com, but I get to hold the remote.
Especially when it comes to the volume, actually.
Oh, volume.
It's not even so much what it is that's on or what you're listening to or whatever. So many couples do not
It's
agree.
the audio sweat spot.
Yeah, they don't agree in how loud it should be. Should it be quiet? Should
It's
it be
the
loud?
audio
Loud
wet
enough?
spot.
For me, it's for 15.
Yeah, you like to go for it. You gotta turn it up a little bit so you can hear.
Because there's going to be a lot of beavers in the room.
Them beaver tails flapping around are getting noisy.
It's the audio wet spot.
I think there's too many emojis in here.
Warm fish salad, Kathy.
It could be. I kind of want to call her on it.
Are you talking about the?
I feel like Kathy doesn't know
use
what an
of
emoji is.
communication with emojis? Are you talking about the use of communication with emojis?
Well, yeah, that too. But yeah, sometimes there are too many emojis.
I'm going to call you on
comes
it.
to what?
If you get a bluff point, she gets a bluff point.
Yeah.
What?
On the too many emojis.
Nope.
Ah.
Bluff point.
Okay.
All right.
There you go.
Well, what about the shoe puzzle?
See, it's like, what does that even mean?
What is a shoe puzzle?
Well, it's kind of like the puzzle when you walk into some woman, woman you love, and she like has a bunch of shoes in her
The shoe
closet.
puzzle.
Go on.
The shoe
And,
puzzle is when you try
yeah.
to go to bed at night and all the lights are off and you trip 3 times because she hasn't put all of her shoes away that she tried on before you went out that.
What
But
about-
you haven't lived
Or they're
with
just
a woman
lying
yet.
around
So
the
So what
room.
about the emoji?
What, do women use
So
too many
The
emojis?
emoji puzzle
in
is
there?
when you get a text from her or him, right? And it's half of it is emojis, and you're supposed to understand what the fuck.
Well,
they're saying.
that's when you're tired of your boyfriend talking to him, and you really just kind of want to. I love you, kisses, hugs, I'm crying, little tears.
What are you doing
Now,
tomorrow?
I'm on my way to go.
I'm still waiting for the emoji that looks like a peach with a finger going up that little crack.
It's got little like pursed lips.
Use your imagination. Yeah, you can do the.
Well, it's like a little buddy. Yeah, but I want him to actually be there.
So
You'll be able to like edit
my
your
wife and
emojis.
I do a lot of
My
this.
wife?
Yeah,
Sorry.
where we do a lot of this. This
Rod's
is
showing a
emotions.
picture.
essentially
Gifts.
all gifts. One gift,
Oh my God.
2,
They
one gift, free
communicate
gift.
with gifts.
Yes, a lot of our communication.
But it's not
What?
really
What
that
do you have?
dirty. It's not that dirty. It's but if you have
It's
my
weird.
mind in the middle of a conversation, if you pick the right one,
Right, but that's what you should be doing with gifts
Right.
anyways. You should
and
be
then when
like,
someone
know,
complains and goes,
implications.
"Oh, you have such a dirty mind," it's like, no, I didn't mean it that way. Your mind took it there. I didn't say that straight out, so
But
you
see-
must have been
but see,
thinking it.
The dirty mind is the one that elicits in everyone else's mind the dirty thought that they were trying to
But how do you know that that's what they were trying to do?
That's the way. That's the way the dirty mind gets out of it.
That's
He's like,
right.
he's got the
very
dirty
much.
mind and he wants to express it, but he'll just like
If I got
send the
paid
gift to
for it,
somebody,
I'd be a rich
and nobody
man.
like, and he like looks, oh my god, and it's like, all right,
All right, you guys, I'm ready to count up some points. How do you guys feel?
yes,
Let's do it. And I'm going to go around the room. To my left is Mr. Rod Diaz, who struck us well with 2 bluff points today. What else you got, man?
All right, so we got no other passwords.
You got that?
Yep. The wet spot.
He said that more than once.
I said it
Multiple
about like a
times.
dozen times.
I can't believe somebody said the wet spot and nobody called it.
Oh come on, that's too easy.
I think I
thought
said
that was
it a
too-
dozen
I
times.
thought that was
Well, look,
too
all of you
easy.
look at your list. I put a lot of easy stuff.
I put everything. I said stuff.
don't see
Other
anything
stuff was
easy
the
for
wet
me.
spot.
Okay, go on.
Dropping by uninvited.
Yep.
Swipe right all night.
Wow.
And then I did not use getting tested for STDs.
He did mention STDs, but he did not use the test.
Getting
quite
tested.
It was about getting tested, not so
Yeah,
much the
yeah.
STD itself.
I called him on the STD.
That would have
Okay.
been perfect for the surprise,
All right.
legendary threesome.
Rosanna,
Fantastic for us.
you didn't get any bluff points, but she's,
No.
she's learning the game.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wasn't feeling it. I just got busting out of their Spanx,
Busting out of the Spanx.
Yeah,
What
that
did
was
you
hard.
not use?
That's hard.
meeting their parents, daggers in his or her eyes, the walk of shame, and backseat driver.
Okay.
Wait, someone called the walk of shame.
No, Rod said something about the walk of
I
shame.
did say
he
mention
was
walk of
trying to
shame.
get a bluff point on it, and Rosanna could have jumped on right then.
I
and-
could have, but I didn't.
I'm even going to give you that point. I'm going to say
No,
that
don't.
you said something. All right, whatever. You still only
I got
end up with
1
2
point.
points if I do. Okay. Kathy, what do you got for me?
Okay, I got what I get. I got the Facebook hookup,
Facebook hookup,
the eternal
Oh.
argument. That was easy.
the eternal argument.
I didn't get eat all their fries because you called me on that, right? And then and then the emoji puzzle and too many shoes. I just got in because I
Yeah.
totally was like,
And she called that. She did that good, guys. She said, the shoe puzzle. Too many emojis, and you guys tried to call her on that, and then she flipped them around the right way.
Good stuff.
I was desperate, man.
That
I was
was
desperate.
freaking brilliant. All right, Dean, what'd you get?
Anyways, I only got 2 total points, but 1 on my list is 100 texts a day. I did say create a PMS, but we didn't go off on it, so I'm not counting.
I'll give it to you because you're gonna get beat anyway.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Pity point, that's what I love.
And you called Kathy on the fries, and you got a point for that. Joey, what you got for me, man?
All right, so I got Going Dutch,
Going Dutch.
Nice.
Reverse Cowgirl,
Reverse Cowgirl.
Friends with Benefits,
Friends with benefits.
That was a good
The Surprise
slip in.
Threesome,
The surprise threesome.
and Control of the Remote Control.
You got friends with benefits?
man,
Lucky
you got,
guy.
like, all
Good.
of them.
Those ones are
job.
really good.
Okay, let's see. I got 2 bluff points, and then I'll probably call them backwards. I don't know. I'll call them in the order I have them here. I got Pandora's Box. I got the smell in his or her apartment. I got Swallow It All. I got Lego sex toys.
Wow, shoot. I gave you.
I tried to get bluff points that you guys wouldn't call me on.
I did.
MSG Lube
I
was a bluff point. Nobody
I
called
said
me
MS,
on
didn't
that.
I?
Sponsored
Yeah,
by
yeah,
Kirkland.
somebody did.
I called that.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
I called
Oh, then
that.
I got a bluff point on
Oh,
that. Thank
yeah.
you.
Oh, psh.
Oh, is
And
that on
then,
your list?
let's
Yeah.
see.
Damn it. I
Booty call. I did booty call. I was trying to get a bluff point there. Checking the phone while you're asleep. I was trying to get a bluff point there. See, going backwards, we got Rosanna with 1 or 2 points. Oh, wait, we got Dean with 3. We got Joey with 5. Kathy with 5. Rod with 6. And me with 6. Rod and I tied
guys.
this one. Woo! All right, everybody. Thank you for being here. That was another episode of The List Game. Please go to your podcast thingy. Remember to go and check out Chronosphere Fiction. It's an anthology series of stories. We got Generation Z, which is 100 years in the future and living people and zombies are coexisting. We got Gafgar, the eternally unfurnished high fantasy. We just started Aussie, the artificial superintelligence that rules the world. All kinds of crazy stuff. I don't know, there's Halloween episodes on there, all kinds of. So check those out. This has been an episode of The List Game brought to you by Stanko Vision.